and getting the start tonight. Southern Indiana, meanwhile, on the other side. Keep an eye on Jake Colderbank. Somewhat of a backbreaker at Orange County over the weekend. 97th minute equalizer in that contest against Orange County. Otherwise, they would have escaped with the full complement of points for a second consecutive match. This ball laced along the sideline. It's Lucas Stauffer curling this ball in, and the clearance comes right back to where it started from. But nevertheless, a good start to the season. 1 win, 1 draw for Lexington out of the USL Championship. Plenty of experience, but it's also a new group. Only returned 3 players from last year's squad. And of those 3, 1 are hurt. So almost an entirely new roster. You have a new coaching staff as well trying to mesh at the beginning of this season. And a different look in this lineup as this ball's rolled forward here. Medense cuts it back, swerves it through the middle. Stauffer misses. This shot attempt rings the post. Second chance. Stauffer laces this ball. Love saves it. 2 chances for Lexington. 1, it's the post. 2, it's Love saving it. Through the middle of the field, it looks like it's Joe Hafferty just waiting on it patiently as he takes the swing. It's actually Caceres, rather. Some warning shots here at the outset of this matchup. Williams. Stauffer looks at Jabert, tries to funnel through the middle, unable to do so. Consistent pressure. Look at Stauffer's throw into the box. And alertly over to it, Luca Perrin, who played at Georgetown College in Kentucky, collegiately pokes that out. So a corner kick here for Lexington. First corner of the match.
Number 23, Alfredo Medense.
Thorpe is over there with Medense. It will be Medense swinging this ball in right in front. Corey Burke throttles this ball through and thrashes the nets. Lexington opened the scoring in the 13th minute. Burke opens things here in the first round of the Open Cup. Hafferty. Jabert. Stauffer. Great pass, feathers this one through. Jeffall leaves it back, gets another go at it. Maybe a little too selfless that time around from Sofian. It's back to the right-hand side. Stauffer bobbles. Southern Indiana clear. Lexington teetering on the edge to try to add a second goal. Left channel. This ball hooks around. Burke makes the run. Stauffer has a header that sails high. Stauffer. Look at this ball. It's such a good ball from Goldthorpe. Thought Burke was going to get it. 1-0 the advantage for Lexington. They have very much dominated the flow of this match. Southern Indiana had that early little warning shot, and that's been about it. Medense, the target of Burke's pass. A long-distance launch down the park. All Love can do in that sequence. There's the possession numbers, 80% for Lexington at this point. And Brad Hodder was very open and honest with this matchup. On the overlapping run, a good carry from Hafferty. Hafferty slams on the brakes. He picks out Burke. Burke misses wide left. by Hafferty, and Burke just couldn't finish. It's all this effort here with two defenders around, finding space. You can see Stauffer waiting and salivating and roll those hips around to try to get to it. Goldthorpe again. The pressure persists. This ball nodded into the air, and Love catches. Well, as Brad Hunter was telling us, he said he really wants his group to be lunch pail, gritty, hard-nosed, aggressive, risk-taking, but understanding tomorrow going to be very, very different than when they go into UPSL action. League play, you're looking to bank points every weekend. The biggest difference is in the U.S. Open Cup, you're one and done. And that's the situation that we sit out right now, closing in on the half-hour mark of a 1-0 Lexington advantage against Southern Indiana. Goldthorpe has had all sorts of real estate to roam. Overlapping runs, it's Medense. Goldthorpe with the right foot stings this. A bobble from Love, but he makes a strong stop. Just about anything that this group wants to do right now. And you see Love. Stauffer funnels through the middle, fired back outside. Medense circles, slams the brakes on after a pump fake. Medense taps it back. Stauffer circles. Stauffer lobs this ball in. Burke heads it high, and Love stretches the hand up and watches it crash on top of the netting. For the 29-year-old, grew up in Owensboro, Kentucky. Played collegiately at Creighton. Flexing his muscles in an intimidating force inside of the box. Medense carries it. Here is Stauffer. Stauffer strikes it, and a save from Love. Burke a second bite. Stauffer again fires around. And Southern Indiana may be a little fortunate that this isn't 2-0 as they spring forward for the first time since the opening minutes. McCloskey waits for the overlapping run, sprints to the middle, runs into Medense. Foul is given against Stauffer, so Southern Indiana will get a much-needed free kick. They've only completed around 50% of their passes so far. Left-hand side it goes. Jafal. A handball is whistled. So another attacking set piece opportunity here for Lexington. You know very much that this group wants to get something going here in the attack before halftime to have a little bit something more to show for their efforts here in this first half. Goldthorpe splitting. Goldthorpe keeps his feet. Goldthorpe muscles this ball around Love and stings the strings. A second for Lexington. Just before the end of the first half, the home side lead 2-0. This is very much an individual effort here from Goldthorpe. Look at the amount of Southern get reinforcements rolling. And the pass goes behind, and there is the first half whistle. A first half that was dominated by Lexington. Replaces Corey Burke, Speedy Williams, Sophion Jafal, and Joe Hafferty all coming out. Meanwhile, Southern Indiana will make a couple changes. It's Sadamed Mohammed coming in with Taylor Aaron. That duo replaces Hornback and Nathan Brown in the 11 for Southern Indiana. kind of difference that might make, and the bridges that Lexington have, the depth that they have on their bench gets a little bit stronger as they use 4 different players to come into this match here to start off this second half. So we're just about ready to start off half number 2. Southern Indiana need to make some changes. They haven't had a shot attempt so far in this game, and they're playing against a very confident and strong and sturdy Lexington group that has scored multiple goals in all 3 of its competitions so far this season. Second half action underway. Southern Indiana in those light blue kits and the orange and white for Lexington SC here in the first round of the 2025 U.S. Open Cup. We started with 96 teams. 95 matches will be played from March until October 1st. In the first round, exclusive 32 matches between amateur and pro teams. Here's Goldthorpe chipping this ball, but it's a little bit off the outside of the boot, and it crinkles the left side of the net. 8 USL Championship teams are playing in the first round. 16 more will hop into the fray in the round of 32. And so far, so good for the USL Championship. Goldthorpe tosses this up top. Medense strikes it hard. It's low and past Love. And it's a 3rd goal within 60 seconds of the second half for Lexington. Unable to identification of their roster. Guys have done a good job of learning and getting better on a game-to-game basis. Maybe felt like they left a couple points in Orange County with that 97th minute equalizer. But there's certainly areas that they still need to grow on, just like any team at this point of the year. Medense chips this ball through. Here's Stauffer. Lucas Stauffer cuts it back. This ball ricochets off of a body and flares wide after Nick Firmino was looking to make it 4. That's a great ball from Stauffer. Could have been a 4th. Goldthorpe boomerangs this ball in. Love bobbles. It nearly ends up in the net, if not for a last-ditch effort to clear that ball away. Goldthorpe laces this ball in. It takes a couple bounces. Stauffer was winding up, but he saw Rodriguez step in front of him. Left-hand side, Goldthorpe taps this ball across. Valesky lets it ride. Stauffer's there on the back post to add a 4th. Lucas Stauffer opens his account with Lexington. Ball given away. Small push forward. Beer. Green. Firmino. Able to locate that pass as it's taken away. Clegg hits this ball well. That is a saucy pass through the middle of the field, and a chance here for Southern Indiana to try to get one back. all the way across, and for the first time tonight, Brooks Thompson asked to make a save as he pushes that away. Such a good ball. Look at this pass. Perfectly weighted, skimming across the grass, and the run continues, and defensively in the end, Gibert able to force the angle out wide. First shot of the match comes in the 59th minute. Let's see this set piece. Hooking into the 18, headed wide. Thompson juggles that ball. I think that's the biggest thing right now at this point for Lexington, is ensuring that the clean sheet stays intact. As this ball skims along, Green is on a foot race. Green wins the race, goes out wide, cuts the angle down, and allows the defender to recover. Rodriguez circles, taps it over, and left-footed shot. I think just a little bit mishit in the end. What a promising transitional moment that was for Lexington. That leads to a Zane Love save. Right back on it, Medense. Rodriguez gets into the box. Rodriguez blasts this ball around Love, and they do get a fifth. Fifth different man to score is Braudilio Rodriguez. 5-0 Lexington with about 10 minutes to play. Well, it started with a transitional moment and then the pressure. Stauffer gets the initial steal. It's a good pass. At the amateur level, you can simply put money down and pay on to get in. This, you have to earn it. You have to win. Rodriguez overlaps. Rodriguez touches this ball in. Valesky aids it along. Love gets to it before Stauffer. But they never could quite get all the way back in that one and fell shy at Vermont Green in that cup set. A team that had never led in their first two trips to the U.S. Open Cup has led almost the entirety of the night since the 13th minute goal from Burke. Rodriguez twirls around, comes back out. Firmino shoots and has this ball blocked and over the top for another corner kick.
That's another Commonwealth Credit Union quarter pro. Lexington Sporting Club. Number 23, Medense.
Alfredo Medense assisted on a corner to start the night. Medense hooks this ball in, and it gets cleared right back to where it came from. On for another corner kick, and Medense is going to give way to Henry Caceres, the 23-year-old, who played collegiately at both Marquette and UCLA in his time. Last year, 6 goals, 2 assists for the Bruins in his final year of college. Caceres arcs this one high into the sky. Barbier brings it in. Barbier off the volley. Whistles it high. Barbier was looking for a resounding exclamation point, but shovels it over the top of the bar. And there's the full-time whistle, and for the first time in club history, Lexington wins the U.S. Open Cup match